Please welcome Dr. Eric Thomas Weber to Flyover.
Well, my greatest interests have always been about the moral and political philosophy, but those have aspects and areas of focus, right? And so the big thing I think philosophers tend to do is they very often try to ignore and forget about childhood. I don't know if it's because of misogyny and the history of thinking of things about children as involving women's work or what have you, but the tradition of social contract theory of thinking about kind of consent of the governed is that, I'm not going to hurt you so that you don't hurt me, all that kind of stuff. All of that is this idea about society based on adults coming together to agree about stuff so we have a better society. But you can mess people up early on by just, being unjust to them while they're young, right? And limiting their options in life and and so forth. And so I like to think about, the development of persons, which I think is one the obvious place in which you can sort of try and oppress people is oppress them at their weakest when they're young, right? And so that's, I think, a terrible thing that to be watched for, and therefore the philosophy of education is of great importance to me. And it's not only about the young, of course, but that's where we tend to concentrate our energies and thoughts and ideas about education. Of course, education is and should be lifelong, uh, but uh, but thinking about the philosophy of education, I think, is crucial because we make a lot in philosophy out of how people view the world and how people think about it. But we do all kinds of things which shape how those views come together, right? And therefore, it's vital to think about how that shaping happens.